Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Culture Wave Media Network. I am Darian Scalamoni, and I am here to talk to you guys about the first two episodes of the newest Marvel show, Agatha All Along. Now, I was supposed to be doing this review with Michael. Unfortunately, he's not here to do this with me, so I'm just going to give my honest, unfiltered thoughts on the first two episodes leading up to the upcoming third episode of the series, which is a spinoff of the first Marvel Disney Plus streaming show that there was, WandaVision. And this one stars Agatha Harkness, who is played by Kathryn Hahn, who was in that series as well. When this series was first announced, it was one that I was very curious about for the mere reason that it was a great character in WandaVision, but it wasn't a character that I sought out a spin-off series for. I didn't really wonder what else was happening to her character. As much as I love Kathryn Hahn as an actress, which I really truly do, it wasn't a character that I was like clamoring for more, especially the way that WandaVision sort of ends and all the stuff that happens with, spoiler alert for the show, it came out years ago, but with Evan Peters' character. It wasn't something that I was really looking forward to. When it was first announced, they went through a bunch of different title changes, which was kind of playing into itself for a lot of it. But here we are, we've arrived, and it was just this past week, on the 18th of September, that Agatha All Along came to Disney Plus. And there were certain aspects of it that I was getting really excited about as the news was kind of pouring out for this show. One of them being the inclusion and the casting of Aubrey Plaza, an actress that I know not only myself, but Michael, when he does get on here to talk about the series with me in the upcoming weeks, is an actress that we really adore. Aubrey Plaza, I first came to see in she was doing a lot of like the comedies in the mid 2000s with like Seth Rogen and things like that, but it was her breakout role as April Ludgate in Parks and Recreation that made me just love her as an actress. And she's done a lot of really awesome things since then. Getting to see her kind of play in this witchy series, which we'll get into the details of what the show is, also was fun. But if I can give just a generalized broad statement of the first two episodes so far, I think it's fun. I think it's campy. I think there's moments that work. And there's other things that just aren't necessarily my cup of tea. Is it a bad show? It's far from it. I think that I'm enjoying the first two episodes of this show more than I was enjoying maybe the first few of She-Hulk, Attorney at Law, which is a show that I do want to go back and rewatch because I feel like there were moments of it that I kind of judged a little harshly now that I understand more of the character and what it was. Secret Invasion, on the other hand, is like a show that it just felt like they didn't know what they were doing from the beginning. The one thing that had me really excited about Agatha All Along was that Jac Schaeffer was coming back to helm this show after she also did the work on WandaVision. And I thought that was really important for the sort of continuation of what we were going to kind of see happen following WandaVision, because WandaVision, I thought from the beginning, was such a unique concept, and obviously it's from the origin of the comics, but it was so unique and it was so different for what Marvel was doing at the time, and it was the first Marvel series on Disney Plus, which I thought had a lot of extra energy to it, and a lot of people were really enjoying the show. It just didn't wrap up, necessarily the right way that a lot of people wanted. But we haven't seen Agatha Harkness's character since then, and again, so this series is the return of Kathryn Hahn's portrayal of the witch. So basically, the first two episodes, the first episode kind of plays as like a parody of an HBO miniseries that came out a few years ago that I actually really liked, called Mare of Easttown. Not sure if anybody had seen it, but it also pays nods and homage to a lot of other crime shows like True Detective, things like The Wire, which is funny because all three of those are crime procedurals from HBO. But that is kind of what Agatha, or Agnes, excuse me, is kind of playing off of in the first episode. And it's playing with the idea of reality and warping reality and what's real versus what's not, similar to what WandaVision did really well. And it just was a little slow for me, and I thought initially, I was like, oh, it's going to be like a continuation of kind of what they did with WandaVision, where like every episode for a lot of it is different eras and homage to classic television and great television, quality TV across the board. The second episode definitely hooked me in more. The second episode is when the story kind of gets thrust forward. You start to get the breadcrumbs laid out for the relationship between Agatha and Aubrey Plaza's character, whose name is Rio Vidal. and you start to see the relationship that those two women had. It might be a romantic relationship or a romantic entanglement. We're not exactly sure yet. You definitely get that chemistry between the two characters where it could be something like that. But also in the first two episodes, you get introductions for a lot of our other main characters. So Joe Locke, who is best known for Netflix's Heartstopper, there was a lot of attention of him being cast. As of right now, he's just known as Teen. For the people who have watched the series already, you're aware of why that is. But a lot of people have alluded to the fact that he is playing either an alternate reality version or a grown-up version of Billy Maximoff, who debuted in WandaVision as the younger version of that character. Joe Locke's character also seems flamboyant and could be a gay character, which Billy Maximoff also is in the comic books, which is leading to a lot of belief from viewers that that's exactly who he could be playing. But that hasn't been revealed yet through two episodes. We also get sort of the rest of the witches' coven that Agatha brings together. In the second episode, especially, it's like a formation of the Witch Avengers essentially. But Sasheer Zamata, who's best known for her being a member of the cast of Saturday Night Live, she is a member of the Coven, as well as Patti LuPone. She plays Lilia. Ali An, who plays Alice Wu Gulliver. And then you also have the returning Debro Jo Rupp, best known for her role as Kitty Foreman in that 70s show, but she returns from WandaVision. She was in that show as well. And you also get returning characters like Herb, Dottie, and Norm and Jones, all from WandaVision, returning within the first couple of episodes here of Agatha All Along. Talking about the tonality of the show, I think that it's a good play for Disney to do a show that is in this vein. I think that it's interesting in the timing of it. I mean, it's coming out a few weeks before, or about a month before Halloween. The show is going to wrap, I guess, a little after Halloween. I'm just going to check here and see when their last episode is scheduled for. They had a 2-episode premiere, as I said, and the last episode, yes, October 30th, so perfect. It's actually a 2-episode finale, similar to how they did a 2-episode premiere. 2-episode finale the day before Halloween. So they timed this up perfectly, where it definitely has a Halloween vibe. It has a spooky vibe, and it plays along with this dark fantasy element. There are actually some pretty impressive horror elements in the second episode, but a lot of the show is lighthearted. A lot of it is comedic. And it kind of fits the mold of Agatha's character from the WandaVision as well. But overall, I mean, we're only 2 episodes in, as I said. We'll get into deeper conversation about it when I'm here with Michael. It's kind of hard to do this without bouncing off of somebody, but as of right now, I'm enjoying the series. I'm not loving it, but I definitely don't dislike it. I'd like to see the pace pick up a little bit more. I think that I really enjoyed the tonal pace of WandaVision comparatively to the first 2 episodes of this show, but I was getting really excited towards the end of the show where we started to see what was going to play out with this Coven of Witches as well. And I'm intrigued by Aubrey Plaza's character and what is to come of the Salem 7, which is, it seems to be the antagonists of this series, which we get a glimpse of towards the end of episode 2. So I am curious, though, for you guys, what do you guys think so far through the first 2 episodes of Agatha All Along? Are you guys a fan? Are you absolutely loving the tone? It has that hocus pocus sort of vibe to it a little bit more creepy, I think, but also playing into the Marvel Universe, which I love. There's a lot of Easter eggs for a lot of people, especially calling back to Jac Schaeffer's original show of WandaVision, and laying the breadcrumbs maybe even for Vision Quest, the other spinoff series that's coming from Terry Matalas, which they just brought him in. He did season 3 of Star Trek Picard, bringing back Paul Bettany as the Vision, and bringing back James Spader as Ultron. Starting to have some other casting announcements as well that we'll definitely be discussing on the channel. But I am curious. Let me know in the comments what your guys' thoughts are so far of Agatha All Along. Are you digging the vibe? Are you digging the tone of the show? Or were you hoping for something a little bit more, a little bit less? We're only 2 episodes in. It's going to be a 9-episode season. So we have a lot of weeks to go with this, and I'll definitely continue to cover it on the channel. But like I said, I want to know your thoughts. Be sure to give this video a like if you can and subscribe to us. We have the Culture Wave Media Network. We're doing all things film and TV. Right now, we have our non-spoiler review of The Substance on the channel. Liz and I just did The Perfect Couple, which is one of the big shows on Netflix right now. I'm also covering The Penguin. We're covering The Penguin as a network going forward. And a lot of movie reviews we got coming for you guys. We have the spoiler talk of The Substance coming. Mark and I are going to be doing Transformers 1. We have Megalopolis coming up, The Wild Robot. his three daughters. So a lot of things coming, and of course, Joker Folie à Deux we'll be talking about as well. If you're a fan of comic book stuff, you have your pick of the litter right now. You got Agatha, you got Penguin, you got Joker upcoming. We just got the trailer for Thunderbolts as of this recording today, so lots to look forward to if you are a comic book movie or TV fan. But also, you guys can follow us on social media. All those links are going to be below. And just signing off, I am Darian Scalamoni, and thank you for tuning in. And we'll see you next week for Agatha All Along.
This is The Culture.